Alright team, we're getting into what to do next. Alright, before we do, let's look at what the current situation is. And this is the awareness to action solution that I created within the Victory program, because the training needs analysis that I told you I did was on the gap between awareness and action. Why aren't people taking action? Yeah? And I found that there was 5 critical gaps, and I'll take you through the first 2 just to see context. But this is the current situation. We either have people operating in the awareness space, which is basically telling everyone it's shit. Yeah, pretty much, excuse my language. 70 odd veterans in Australia last year took their life. What's that saying? Awareness, it's shit, people are committing suicide. Yeah? Awareness, 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 awareness. It's shit, it's shit, it's shit, it's shit, it's shit. Right? Or they're using that awareness to fund research for a solution. Or ambassadors are raising awareness of the issue. Prince Harry is the PTSD ambassador for Soldier On and over in the UK, and there's all these ambassadors raising awareness. So we've got more famous people telling us how shit it is. Awesome. Or everyone's telling you to take action. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But the only do this that we really had to start with was talk to a site. If you're in the military, talk to a representative from your unit. Call Lifeline, call emergency services. If you're in critical need, call emergency services, call Lifeline for sure. But people aren't doing that. That's why we're losing, because we're not fulfilling this gap in the middle. The awareness to action solution fills the gaps in the middle. And every time I deal with someone that's going through this, this is the system that I use. Now, before everyone freaks out and tries to assume that I'm doing treatment stuff, I'm not. Taking action is actually getting to a specialist that can help you through a process that removes all the obstructions. If you use this process, people will want to talk to your professionals once your professionals are qualified and your professionals have been through this program. So that's why I'm working with organizational psychs now to get this into organizations. Why? It flipping works. All right? If anyone's read the book and says it doesn't work, tell me why it doesn't work. You can go tell all those people that I work for that they're wrong. All right? So, awareness or action. There's some fantastic organizations that actually fill some of the 5 within the gap, but people don't know about it. So, instead of creating awareness about what's shit, create awareness about the solutions. Why isn't there all this awareness about the solutions that we have? There aren't any that are being promoted at the moment, because people are too scared of the liability to say, I've got something that works. And they're too scared if they get it wrong that they get sued or someone uses it and dies. I don't give a shit about that, because people are already dying. If I get sued because someone reads my book and then they go and commit suicide and they leave a note to say I committed suicide because I read Dion's book, I'm willing to take that risk. Why? Because the people from my tribe are flipping dropping. Yeah? So I'll do it. I'll go to jail if I get it wrong, but I'm going to stake a claim in the ground right now. I'm starting with my book. It flipping works for some people. It's worked for the people that have used it. It will not work for people that say it will not work. My first New Zealand interview on the radio, the first comment says, Dion, I've got PTSD, I'm always going to have PTSD. Yep, absolutely right, bro. That's what you've decided. Here, someone's come back and said, everyone's telling me that I'm always going to have this unless I take drugs and do this. Will your solution help me? I don't know, bro. Read the book, you tell me. They read the book, they come back, bro, this helps. Yeah? Do you have any other psychs that speak this language? Yes, talk to this guy. Now they're working together. I responded to a mate the other night. Sat down, briefed me, bro, what's going on? He outlined the situation. We put the mission together. I got him to smack it all in his own language. So now he has an expectation of victory. The next part will be him accessing professionals within that space in that language. It's not my job to treat. I don't have the skills to treat. I share my testimony, and there's a simple system that gets people wanting to engage with your clinicians and your sites because they have the skill set. Right? So, stop telling anyone about how shit it is in your awareness campaigns. Because there is no value for the people that can actually help you with this mission if you just tell them how shit it is. Why would a corporate sponsor, why would a commercial organization help you find solutions if you keep asking money to raise awareness about how shit it is? Because there's no solutions to put the money into. And if there are good solutions out there, we either don't know about them, or we don't trust them, We're not accessing them. If we were, we wouldn't be losing this many veterans. Okay? So here's a solution that works for a demographic. You're not going to know until you do your investigation on it. Crazy. Right. So let's look at the gaps. The first two gaps. Number one, understanding. Depending on your understanding of this situation, that is going to define your reality. If your understanding of post-traumatic stress disorders, it is a psychological disorder, there is something wrong with you that needs to be fixed, ain't going to work. Yeah? The system will not work. This is my understanding. This is the reality that I'm creating for this. It is natural. It is normal. It is not a disorder. It is your subconscious bodyguards fighting as hard as they can to win. But the IAs and the ROEs are not consistent with this environment. If you acted the same in the other environment, your value would be up here, not down here in the civilian world. If you don't know what an IA is or an ROE, read the book. You already know what it stands for, because this is your language. It's the language I speak to people when they're in the hole. Because it's our language, it's our tribe, our identity gives us our value and our expectation of victory. All right? So we go through the workshops and the modules to gain the correct understanding, because you shape it. Don't let the media shape your understanding of what's going on. Science for sure, yeah, clinicians for sure, but in our language, so that our understanding puts us on a positive expectation of victory. All roads lead to victory. Secondly, communication. All right. Military personnel's greatest weakness in this environment. We've got our own language and our own way of communicating. A lot of us raw, a lot of us brutal, some of us not very nice, okay? Because we're trained to kill or capture, all right? That's why. But if you don't give people a language, a vocabulary, and a means to communicate what's happening in their head and in their heart and in their soul in their own language, then they can't even get that out to someone that can help. And the clinicians at the moment are expecting us to communicate in psych language, doing DAS 21 and DAS 42 forms and communications where we're trying to keep up with your language. With the psychs that I work with are phenomenal. They sit down, they read the book, they understand my language and what's going on, and they speak our language back to us to create that teamwork. We're equals with psychologists and specialists. Why? Because we're flipping specialists too, in our world. They're specialists in their world. We are equal specialists. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, see that positive understanding. Map that out so they can see everything that happens. So when they get to this stage, they are fully prepared. They are fully briefed. They've been rebriefed, retrained, and they're sitting right at the point of choosing whether or not they want to take action. Unless we fill this gap, we can jump up and down about how shit it is, and we can tell people what action to take. And they won't take it unless they have to. Right? And that's never going to work in any learning environment. The people are there because they have to be there. They've got to want to be there if you want to raise the effectiveness or whatever they're going through. So fill in this gap, which they're involved in creating, and every psychologist will agree with me. When you're involved in creating that reality, partnered with a specialist, on a plan, with support, it works. Why? Because it's actually the military system. All right? So, the Awareness to Action solution is contained within the Victory program, which I'll make available in the next couple of months. I'll take you through the flow on what we do and how that's working at the moment, and then I can leave that option with you.